Have you ever watched a pressure cooker about to explode and wondered if you should run for cover or grab some popcorn? That's exactly the feeling you get when surveying the current NHL landscape, where three major franchises are sitting on powder kegs of expectations, desperation, and the kind of organizational pressure that forces general managers to make franchise-altering decisions. Welcome to the most volatile period of the hockey calendar, where rumors become reality faster than a Connor McDavid. Breakaway. Ken Holland didn't come to Los Angeles to manage a mediocre hockey team. The veteran executive, fresh off his tenure in Edmonton, walked into a Kings organization with a crystal-clear mandate from President Luc Robitaille: deliver results. And deliver them now. According to Nick Kypreos, there's tremendous pressure mounting in LA, and that pressure is about to manifest itself in ways that could reshape the Western Conference. The Kings' aggressive approach in free agency, highlighted by their substantial investment in Cody Checky, signals an organization that has abandoned any pretense of patience. This isn't about building for the future anymore, this is about maximizing the championship window of a veteran core that won't stay competitive forever. Holland's reputation as a dealmaker means every major conversation involving available talent will include Los Angeles as a potential suitor. But here's what makes the Kings' situation particularly fascinating. They're not just looking to add talent, they're maintaining flexibility for potential blockbuster acquisitions. Chris Johnston's reporting suggests the Kings are keeping cap space available in case a major free agent hits the market mid-season. This strategic positioning indicates an organization willing to swing for the fences when the right opportunity presents itself. The pressure in LA isn't just about making the playoffs. It's about justifying the faith Robitaille has placed in this core group and proving that the Kings can compete with the elite teams in the Western Conference. Holland's track record suggests he won't hesitate to make bold moves when his job security depends on results. Barry Trotz shocked the hockey world this summer with his aggressive free agent signings, bringing in Jonathan Marchessault, Brady Skjei, and Steven Stamkos to transform the Nashville Predators overnight. But in a move that would surprise absolutely no one who follows Trotz's management style, reports suggest the veteran GM might already be considering flipping one of his new acquisitions. Kypreos reporting on Sportsnet indicates that Marchessault could be the most likely candidate for a potential trade if Nashville decides to unload a long-term contract. This might seem counterintuitive given that Marchessault just arrived, but it actually makes perfect sense from a roster construction standpoint. The beauty of Trotz's approach lies in his willingness to be ruthlessly pragmatic about roster construction. If signing Marchessault was about creating trade value rather than keeping him long-term, it represents the kind of chess playing that separates elite general managers from their peers. Marchessault's championship pedigree and proven production make him an attractive trade target for contending teams, potentially netting Nashville significant assets in return. This situation perfectly encapsulates the modern NHL landscape, where general managers must balance immediate competitive needs with long-term asset management. Trotz has shown throughout his career that he's willing to make unpopular decisions if they improve his team's championship prospects. The departure of Mitch Marner has left the Toronto Maple Leafs with a glaring offensive hole that can't be filled through internal promotion alone, while the additions of Dakota Joshua, Michaelis Michelli, and Nicholas Roy provide valuable depth. None of these players can replace Marner's elite production and game-breaking ability. This reality has led to serious discussions about trading from the blue line to acquire forward help, with Brandon Carlo emerging as the most logical trade candidate. Carlo's fit alongside Morgan Rielly has been inconsistent at best, and his trade value could help Toronto address their scoring depth concerns. The Morgan Rielly situation adds another layer of complexity to Toronto's decision-making process. While Rielly would represent the biggest potential return in any blue line trade, his no-trade clause creates significant complications. Reports suggest conversations have taken place about whether Rielly might consider waiving his protection, but any such move would require careful negotiation and likely significant input from the player himself. Toronto's challenge lies in balancing their defensive depth against their offensive needs. Trading Carlo might solve their forward depth issues, but it could create new problems on the back end. General manager Brad Treliving must weigh these competing priorities while operating under the intense pressure that comes with managing one of hockey's most scrutinized franchises. Sidney Crosby trade rumors refuse to die, despite consistent reporting that suggests the captain has no interest in leaving Pittsburgh. Chris Johnston's recent comments on the Steve Dangle podcast reaffirmed that a Crosby trade remains unlikely, particularly given his desire to finish his career alongside of Jenny Malkin. Frank Saravelli's reporting has linked teams like Montreal, Los Angeles, and Colorado to potential Crosby interest. But the reality is that Crosby holds most of the cards in any potential trade scenario. His no-movement clause and legendary status give him unprecedented control over his hockey future. The Erik Karlsson situation presents a more realistic trade scenario for Pittsburgh. If the Penguins are willing to retain salary to bring cap hit down to the $7 to $7.5 million range, teams like Carolina could emerge as serious suitors. However, Kyle Dubas is reportedly asking a premium price for any of his veteran stars, including Karlsson, Brian Rust, and Rickard Rakell. Pittsburgh's challenge lies in balancing their respect for franchise legends with the harsh reality that their championship window may be closing. Moving pieces like Karlsson could help retool the roster around Crosby and Malkin, but it also signals an admission that the current core isn't capable of competing for championships. What makes this situation particularly explosive is how interconnected these potential moves could become. If the Kings make a major acquisition, it could pressure Toronto to accelerate their own timeline. A Nashville trade involving Marchessault could create new opportunities for teams like Pittsburgh to reshape their roster. The next few weeks could see a cascade of moves that fundamentally alter the competitive balance across the NHL. General managers are operating under unprecedented pressure to deliver results, and that pressure historically leads to the kind of bold moves that define championship pursuits. Which of these potential moves do you think is most likely to happen first? Are the Kings setting themselves up for a championship run, or are they mortgaging their future for short-term success? Drop your predictions in the comments below and smash that like button if you think we're about to witness some franchise-changing trades